What is the statute of limitations for fraudulent transfers? Have you ever wondered how long you have to challenge a fraudulent transfer? This question is especially relevant in the context of divorce and separation. When one spouse tries to hide assets to avoid sharing them, understanding the statute of limitations becomes essential. The statute of limitations for fraudulent transfers can vary based on where you live and the specific circumstances of the fraud. Generally, it sets a time limit for when you can legally contest a transfer of assets that was made to hinder or defraud creditors. So, what does that mean in practical terms? A fraudulent transfer happens when one party moves assets to keep them away from creditors or to avoid obligations during divorce. The statute of limitations defines how long after that transfer you can file a claim to reverse it. In many states, the time frame for challenging these transfers is typically between 2 to 4 years. This period starts either from the date of the transfer or from when the fraud was discovered. For instance, under bankruptcy law, there is usually a 2-year look-back period before filing for bankruptcy. State laws can differ, with some allowing a longer period of up to 4 years. If the transfer was concealed, additional time may be granted. For example, in New York, if a transfer was made with the intent to defraud, you have 4 years from the transfer date or 1 year from when the fraud was discovered to take action. There are 2 main types of fraud to consider. Actual fraud involves intentional deceit to defraud creditors, while constructive fraud occurs when a transfer is made for less than fair value while the person is insolvent. The limitation period for actual fraud can be longer, often allowing up to 4 years or more. Constructive fraud typically has a shorter time frame of 2 to 4 years from the date of the transfer. In the context of divorce, fraudulent transfers can be a tactic used to hide marital assets. This makes the statute of limitations critical. If one spouse transfers assets to avoid sharing them, the other spouse must act within the statute of limitations to challenge those transfers effectively. Forensic accountants often play a key role in these investigations. They look for suspicious transactions within the look-back period to uncover hidden assets. If a claim is filed in time, courts can void those fraudulent transfers, making the assets part of the marital estate. In summary, the statute of limitations for fraudulent transfers generally ranges from 2 to 4 years, depending on the jurisdiction and the nature of the fraud. Knowing these time limits is vital for anyone facing divorce and dealing with potential asset concealment.